I'm Christy. I am the Workforce Development and Education Manager here at Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy. So one of the things that I do is invasive species management in the park system, and whenever we're doing invasive species management, sometimes we have to remove a lot of plant material. Removing plant material is really labor intensive and it's very wasteful. So one of the things that we are trying to mitigate is figuring out alternative uses for the species. One of the invasive species that we are managing is this beautiful flower, Hemerocallis fulva. A lot of people call it daylilies or tiger lilies or ditch lilies, depending on where you're from. But obviously there are a lot of them and managing them can be really, really difficult. So Janna and her organization, Papercraft, are doing us a huge favor by using the leaves and the flowers that we produce whenever we're removing it to make paper.
Hi, I'm Janna Willoughby-Lohr. I'm the owner of Papercraft Miracles, which is an eco-friendly handmade paper art company. We make magical things out of paper that make people happy. We make handmade papers, paper flowers, hand-bound books, and plantable paper products that grow when you plant them in the ground. So what we did for this project, the plants were harvested from the park. We got the daylilies, and we processed about 25 pounds of leaves and hundreds of flowers that we took apart. We dried the flower petals to be able to use them in the paper, so you'll be able to see those. And then we cut all of the leaves into little 2-inch long pieces and put them up to dry. And once they were dry, we took some of them, about a pound at a time, and soaked them in water overnight. I know it seems funny to dry them out and then soak them, but it makes a difference. Soak them in water, and then we put them into boiling water mixed with soda ash. And soda ash is a pretty strong base. So if you know about acids and bases, soda ash is a relatively strong base, and it helps to dissolve the cellulose that holds the fibers of the leaves together. And we cooked it for about an hour and a half with the soda ash to help the fibers start to come apart. And then we made sure to neutralize it with vinegar to turn it back to pH of 7, where it's neutral and it could be rinsed and poured out without harming the earth, which we always want to do, not harm the earth. And then once we rinsed all that fiber out, we put it into a machine called a Hollander beater that has a big grinding wheel. It's all full of water with the plant material, and as the wheel spins around, it pulls all those fibers apart into long strings, and it turns it into a material you can make paper with. Once we did that and it was ready to go, take it out of the machine, we put it into a vat full of water, and then there is the two parts of the paper making mold. There's the bottom part with the screen on it, that's called the mold. The top part that looks like a little frame is called the decal, and it sits on top. You dunk that down into the water, pull it up, the water comes out the bottom, the pulp stays on the screen, and once it's ready, you take the decal off. For anyone who's heard about stationery, fancy stationery that has decal edges, that's how you get the decal edges. It's when you remove the decal, the fibers go and they flock over the sides, and that's how you get that kind of uneven, raggedy handmade paper edge. And you let the water drain out, and then you'll take it and you through this process called couching. It's from the French word coucher, like where couch comes from, means to lie down. You take your mold that has the paper on the one side and you lay it down onto a piece of felt. And if you're lucky, it comes off the screen onto the felt, and then you repeat the process until you run out of pulp. And you make a big, huge stack, which is called a post. And once you have many, many layers of felts and paper and felts and paper and felts and paper, you put the whole thing into a hydraulic press and squeeze out all the water and squeeze all those fibers back together like this, and then they will bond back together permanently. Then you take all the felts. We have a 50 row, 50 rack screen dryer. And we put them on all of the shelves of that and turn on some fans and we dry them overnight. And then we take them all off the felts, we put them back in a different hydraulic press and press them very, very flat. And then they're ready to use. There's something about paper and handling paper that just sends me to the moon and brings me back to earth at the same time.